Interesting, isn't it? And then, of course, we'll be taking your reactions and comments. So make sure you join us then as well. All right, we haven't got too much time. So without further ado, let's take some headlines from today's newspapers. In the Guardian newspaper, again, Buhari orders service chiefs to tackle banditry insurgency. This is in the Guardian newspaper, where, bothered by intractable security problems all over the country, President Muhammadu Buhari yesterday, for the upteenth time, gave marching orders to the security chiefs to go after insurgents, bandits, and terrorists. All right, also in the papers this morning, Nigeria risks fourth wave as South Africa detects deadlier COVID-19 variant. Just when we thought we're getting to the point where, life was sort of getting back to normal in the midst of COVID-19. They are talking about a deadlier variant, and this one was spotted in South Africa. It says here, as the world slowly pulls out of the ravaging coronavirus pandemic with increased vaccination, South African scientists have detected a new COVID-19 variant in small numbers, which is worse than the Delta variant. They blame it for a surge in infection numbers. Daily infections shot to more than 1,200 cases on Wednesday from around 100 earlier this month, raising fears of a fourth wave of the pandemic. The variant, called B11529, has a very unusual constellation of mutations which are concerning because they could help it evade the body's immune response and make it more transmissible, scientists told reporters at a news conference yesterday. What can we say? Well, let's just stay careful. Let's be mindful, especially as it's, of course, what we call Dirty December. A lot of people are going to be traveling, coming from different parts of the world. I hope that our government will be on top of things, especially from the airport, ensuring that, travelers perhaps maybe quarantine, take time away to, and then, of course, please get vaccinated. The vaccines are, free. Get vaccinated. I don't know what myths you have heard about the vaccine, but yes, do your research as much as you can, even though nobody can really do research. You're not a scientist. I don't know what research you can do on your own, apart from reading articles that you already see online. But yes, do as much research as you can, and please get vaccinated. All right, also in the papers this morning, only 27% African health workers fully vaccinated against COVID-19, says WHO. Just 27%. Also in the papers this morning, I'll relocate to US after my tenure, Obiano tells EFCC. All right, still straight from the dailies, the bonus edition. Let's move to the Vanguard newspaper. Breaking: gunmen abduct principal, vice 3 teachers in Ondo. That's definitely not good. It's here in the Vanguard newspaper. And I'll just read a few paragraphs from the story to give you better understanding of this headline. Suspected kidnappers have abducted a principal, Joshua Adeyemi, his vice, Ifedayo Yusufu, and 3 other teachers along Gaishe Road in Akoko Northeast Council area of Ondo State. Adeyemi is the principal of Alga Community Grammar School, while Ifedayo is the vice. The 3 abducted teachers, also of same school, include Oloyede Bukola, Adagmodo, Fumilayo, and Blessing Okeke. Eyewitness accounts said that the incident occurred on Thursday afternoon while they were traveling in a blue Toyota Corolla car belonging to the school principal along the Algaishe Road in Akoko Northeast Council area of the state. The source said that the unsuspecting victims were ambushed and whisked away into the thick forest by the abductors. Let's hope that the Ondo State government will, in partnership with the federal government, will do something that these people will actually be returned home in good health. That's definitely the dream, that they get back in peace, whole. All right, also in the papers this morning, how I worked with Abdul Salami to thwart third term bid under Obasanjo. Thabo Mbeki. That's an interesting one you want to read. Let's move to the Tribune newspaper. Take more headlines. Hashtag NSAS white paper not known to law. Falano. This is in the Tribune newspaper, and it says the concept of white paper in the official treatment of reports authored by Judicial Commissions of Inquiries not known to the Nigerian law leading lawyer Femi Falana, disclosed on Thursday. The senior advocate of Nigeria went legal to stress why the report of the panel that investigated the Lekki tollgate shooting of October 2020 cannot be tampered with by both the federal and Lagos state governments. His verdict would be a blow to the ongoing administrative process being undertaken by the state government on the panel report, as a committee set up by the government has a few more days to submit a white paper on the report. In a speech delivered when some leaders of the Committee for the Defense of Human Rights visited him in Lagos, the advocate also said Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is constitutionally barred from rejecting the report, noting that the court of law is the only option available to those indicted. Apart from claiming white paper is unknown to law, he added that members of the white paper committee set up by the governor are also not legally competent to alter the report as submitted by the panel. He says we're not unaware of the purported rejection of the report of the commission by the Minister of Information and Culture, Mr. Lai Mohammed, and the pressure on the White Paper Committee by some anti-democratic forces to advise the governor to jettison the findings and recommendations of the commission. Such critics are certainly not aware there is no provision for the issuance of a white paper under the law. In other words, the white paper is mere administrative medium for conveying the decision or position of the government on the report of an administrative or judicial inquiry. All right, that's that. We all know that. What was it that the minister called the NSAS reports? I think he says it's tales by moonlight. All right, let's take more from the papers. Wife narrates how controversial Buhari supporter Kenechukwu Okeke was killed by his tenant in Anambra. Also in the papers, Anambra Guba poll free and fair. This is the President Muhammadu Buhari. Also in the papers, family members, Nollywood actors, actresses, others in pensive mood as Baba Suwe is buried. This is also in the papers, in the Tribune newspaper this morning. Let's take a few more from the Guardian newspaper. We've got more from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Or perhaps let's go back to the Vanguard newspaper. Alleged 11.8 billion naira scandal. IU vows to probe past PDP administrations. This is in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. All right, it's 10 minutes gone past 7. Don't forget that at 7:30, the sports team will be here to bring you updates from the sporting scene. And then, of course, at 8 o'clock, I'll be right back here, and I will not be alone. I'll be joined by Charity Jerome and Oluwasewankiola, and we'll be looking at some of the stories that made headlines this week. So ensure to join us when we'll be talking about that. There were quite a number of interesting stories this week. For example, the kidnapping and killing that happened on the Kaduna-Abuja highway. Also this week, I think it was when the whole Baba Suwe situation thing happened as well. Death happened and his son posted a video. This week as well. So there are quite a number of stories that were talking points this week, were hot topics this week, and so we cannot wait for you to share your comments and contributions. Okay, so if you have comments, you can send text messages to me real quickly, so I can take them. This morning you can text to 0809 155 1055. That is 0809 155 1055. All right, what's the story that resonates with you, and you have a comment or contribution on it? I'd love to hear your contribution and comment on it, or perhaps you want to wait till 8 o'clock. Hey, there'll definitely be more people competing for that time, so make sure you're sending a message right now. All right, let's look at more stories. Well, we have 2 more minutes left on to look at some news stories, news making headlines this morning. From the Punch newspaper, subsidy. Federal government may deduct 2.4 trillion naira palliative from Federation account. Plans talks. This is in the Punch newspaper. Also, why federal government Sanwo-Olu can't reject NSAS panel reports. We've already taken details of this story and why they cannot reject this report. This is according to lawyer Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana. Also in the papers, robbery suspects dressed like headsmen, NABS join operation in Ogun. All right, so a lot of people are jumping on these herdsmen, to continue the evil being done, kidnapping people and stuff like that. And like this was predicted a long time ago, that obviously this is not nip in the bud. It will become a lucrative business that people begin to now cash in on, and it ought not to be, and I really do hope that the government can do more. We have to do more. We're not doing enough if we still have cases, situations like this where people are, traveling and they are being kidnapped, or people are, just being killed. So I hope the government can definitely get the right tools, equip the right people, so that more can be done. Boko Haram has ready tools from today's 14 million out-of-school children. This is coming from former President Olusegun Obasanjo, who says, I predicted that out-of-school children might soon be recruited by Boko Haram if the government failed to return them to classroom. I've got a text here really before I go, and it says, good morning. On Obiano, people working closely with governors and top government officials should always raise alarm when they notice any form of looting by their principals, as it will not only make the job of the anti-corruption agencies easier, it will also safeguard the future of their generations. Charles, thank you very much. Yes, people don't realize that there's tomorrow, and whilst they are not going to be here tomorrow, their children will be here. And I guess most of them that are looting think they are looting and storing up for their children, and usually they still are. They are, because we see children and children's children of people who have looted, who are still tensioning us and still, showing off the wealth, ill-gotten wealth, that their parents, grandparents, got through, sweat and blood of Nigerians. It's sad, really, but one day, and I hope that one day will come where, justice really will be served to people like this. All right, that's all we can do this morning on Straight from the Daily. Thank you for listening. But don't forget, at 8 o'clock, we'll be back with the Breakfast Gang show. So make sure to join us then. I'm Ronke, Giwa, Onafuwa. Good morning.
Morning Splash. Morning Splash.
Morning Splash. Hey ladies, don't you just hate it when people with beautiful even toned skin refuse to tell you